please open your videos. Hi, Shay. Han Shay, are you?
Oh, hello. Just feel free to call me Ellen. Hello, thank
Ellen,
you.
Ellen. Okay, Ellen. Yes. How about the Samita Sarkar? Are
Sure.
you?
I'll turn on my
Uh,
video in a moment.
yes. Can you video on?
Yes, in a moment.
Yes, please. Summit. Actually, we have four presenters, and another person is the Jaejoon Lee. He's not coming yet. No. Is Jaejoon here? Okay, we will wait. Jason is connected. Samiter, how long?
Oh, just give me a minute.
Yes. Alan?
Hi, Chair.
Hi. Yes, are you in the Taiwan or China?
In Hong Kong, SAR of China.
Okay, Hong Kong. Okay, Samita is a show is hi. Yes. Hello everyone. Welcome to live oral presentation session 7. The title, Convergence STEM, Real-World Problem Solving and Social Sustainability. I'm Professor Hyun-Ju Park from Joseon University in Korea, and I'm delighted to serve as a chair of the session 7. In this session, we are 4 presenters, including Ms. Juran. I'm sorry. Juran, can you change your name?
Yeah, okay.
Because they can read their Korean. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, you can read my name, Hyunju. My name is Hyunju. We have a 4 presenter, including I and Miss Juran. And the total session time is 1 hour. And each presentation will be limited to 15 minutes. But we already passed 5 minutes, so I think about the 10 minutes is okay. And due to time constraint, we'll have 4 questions and discussion after all presentations are completed. And before starting your presentation, why don't you introduce each other? Because we are just 3, and we are 4 people here. So just introduce yourself very shortly. How about the Juran Sin?
Hello, I'm Juran. I'm my school is Joseon University. My major is chemistry education.
Thank you. And how about Ellen Shay?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I am Alan from the Education University of Hong Kong, and the lecturers has expertise in STEM education and AI education. Thank you.
Okay. How about the Samita Sarkar?
Hi, I'm Samita, and I'm a PhD student at Brock University.
Okay. Okay, thank you. And now for the first presentation, Juran and Sein, I will present our work titled Beyond the Subject, Public Perception of Convergence Education for Real-World Problem Solving and Sustainable Society. I, Hyunju Park, received my PhD in science education from the University of Wisconsin and currently served as a professor of chemistry education at Joseon University. My research focused on convergence education policy and digital education transformation and science teaching strategy in the era of the general AI. My co-presenter, Juran Sein, earned her master in chemistry education from Joseon University, as she told before, is currently pursuing her PhD in science education. And she teaches high school chemistry and science. And her research interests include digital competence and teacher education. I'm so proud to mention that she was awarded a highly competitive doctoral student research grant from the Korea National Research Foundation in 2024 to 2025. So now I'm going to share the screen so that we can begin our presentation. Okay, hold on. I'm going to share my presentation. So can you see the screen? Okay, thank you. Now my Ms. Juran and I will begin our presentation. The title of our paper, as I told you before, Beyond the Subject, and Public Perception of Convergence Education for Real-World Problem Solving and Sustainable Society. This slide shows the structure of our outline of our presentation: introduction, understanding of STEM education in Korea, and public perception of STEM education, future convergence education in Korea, and closing remarks. I will present the introduction. I'd like to talk about why STEM education is important, the background that moved to this study. In the 1990s, the digital revolution began with the personal computer and simple email communication. Since then, digital technology has evolved dramatically. Today, we use the VR and headset, emotion sensors, and immersive technology and such as AR, VR, XR. These innovations have extended the boundary of how human and machine interact and making learning and create more dynamic and experiential. According to the World Economic Forum in 2022, the rise of artificial intelligence is transforming the structure of the world. The role of human and machine and algorithm are beginning distribute across the more than 75 million existing job positions. This meaning that the way we work and think, solve problem is rapidly changing. The education must keep space this transformation. In this rapid changes era, it is essential to ensure future-ready talent who can think creative and act cross-discipline. We need individuals who are not only technically skilled, but also capable of integrating knowledge from science, technology, and arts and humanities. This is the true spirit of STEM education, helping learners build a core competence they need to navigation and shape the 21st century world. The characteristic of our convergence education for the future is aimed to integrate science, technology, and creativity into unified learning framework. It focused on computational and digital literacy and essential skill for all learners. Elements such as big data, coding, and problem-based learning now define the new learning ecosystem. Ultimately, STEM education must become more personalized, inclusive, and creative-driven to meet the challenges of the data ages. The United States defined the three clear goals for STEM education to establish a strong foundation so that all students can develop STEM literacy, to promote diversity and equity and active participant in STEM learning, to prepare learners for future STEM-related jobs that have not yet emerged. These goals shows that STEM education today is not only about knowledge, but also inclusion, adaptability, and readiness for the future. To realize this goal, several key strategies have been emphasized. Schools and communities are encouraged to develop an enriched partnership in industry and research institutions. Students are engaged in cross-discipline learning connection, science, technology, engineering, and arts. Computational literacy is cultivated as a core 21st century skill linked to digital tool and creative thinking. The U.S. government also has established 3 national goals for computing literacy: promote digital literacy, ensure cyber safety for all learners, to integrate computational thinking as an essential element across every subject area, to expand the digital platform for teaching and learning. Together, these initiatives make computing a natural and integral part of education, rather than a separate and optional subject. In the era of data and AI, convergence education emphasizes programming literacy and computing fluency. These highlight data science modeling, coding, and problem-based learning as central to student development. As big data becomes a part of everyday life, students must learn to analyze, interpret, and apply data real-world challenges, connecting abstract concepts to authentic problem solving. The National Science Foundation envisions the future where STEM education becomes more personalized and individualized. The key is, how can modern technology create learning experience tolerate to each other learners' potential? And just as importantly, how can we enhance the creative by learning from the wisdom and innovation of previous generation? This personalized approach represents the next stage of convergence education, one that truly combines technology with humanity. The purpose of our study is to explore how general public perceive the convergence or STEM education. We wanted to understand how ordinary citizens recognize the meaning and the importance of STEM education in the digital era. To achieve this, we conducted a nationwide survey examining citizens' awareness and understanding. This also analyzed people's attitude toward goal, effectiveness, and direction of STEM education. Through this analysis, we hope to suggest ways to strengthen the public, participant, and policy support for the future convergence education. Now, let's move on to the next part, understanding STEM education in Korea. In this slide, I'd like to give a brief overview of how STEM education in Korea has evolved. STEM education began in 2011. And 2020, revised fund-oriented curriculum is showed, and master plan Convergence Education 2020 to 2024 introduced. And 2023, the Future Convergence Education is introduced. And the context of STEM education 2011, there was a growing concern about the future for the Korean nature. The future STEM education is more like important for the future, and more concerned about Korean student shows the slow interest in science and math, and fail to recognize the importance of technology and engineering where scientific principles work in real life. For example, among the 25 countries participating in PISA 21, Korean students had the second lowest level of interest in learning science and math. And this is the context of the STEM education in 2011. STEM education is designed to foster interest in understanding science and technology and nurturing students' STEM literacy and problem-solving abilities. Components of STEM education have a strong emphasis and teaching practices. And base idea is to have students engage actively during classes, allow them to use their own thought to emotional experience. That's why we use some kind of science and mathematics and engineering technology and art. There are 3 components and 4 competences. In Korea STEM education, there are 4 competences are communication and caring and creativity and convergence. And creative design and emotional touch and integration content are 3 components. Creative design refers to a comprehensive process by which learner demonstrate creativity, efficiency, and economic aesthetic. And emotional touch refers to experience that enable a positive cycle of self-directed learning, where students feel interest, confidence, intellectual satisfaction, and sense of achievement. Integration of contents aims to content. The connection of the content. Study real life in holistic perspective. It aims to foster convergence model of thinking. This slide shows the supporting STEM education in school. That is nationwide. We have 5 different levels of supporting STEM education in school. One is incubating learning groups, and second is the empowering teachers, and third is the disseminating contents, and fourth is a hands-on inquiry for students, and fifth is a systematic infrastructure. These 5 levels of supporting group is to help foster school STEM education. Outcomes of STEM education this slide shows outcomes of STEM education in Korea. We examined the effect of STEM education through a survey involving about 1,200 students from elementary and middle and high school students. The slide presents the findings of how STEM education influenced elementary, middle, and high school students in various areas, such as STEM, career performance, interest and self-efficacy in math and science, and caring and their communication skills. As shown there in graph, all groups demonstrate a positive effect, but the red line, representing middle school student, shows a clear upward trend across all the area. These results are for middle school students are highly significant, statistically significant, with a p-value below 0.01, indicating strong statistical evidence for the evidence of the effect. These results for the high school student and the highly significant are almost same as the middle school student. This slide presents the result of our studies conducted between 2015 and 2022, which examined the effects of STEM education among elementary and middle and high school students. This analysis focused on STEM education, STEM career performance, interest, and self-efficacy in mathematics and science, STEM fruitfulness, and their care and communication skill. These results indicate that caring, communication, and fruitful outcomes in STEM learning shows the most remarkable progress, which is some kind of yellow, And this slide shows the 2023 STEM education outcomes for teacher professional development. teacher STEM professional development between 2011 and 2023. And throughout this period, the teachers have strengthened their expertise through STEM retraining programs and teacher learning communities. About 3,030 teachers have participated in this program. This slide presents the proportion of high school students who chose the STEM field versus humanity and social science in their major preference and CSAT subject selection between 2020 and 2024. As slide shown, there is a steady upward trend in student selecting STEM-related subject. Next, we discuss public perception of STEM education for the future, which reveals how people envision the direction of future education in Korea. This slide presents a research method used to explore how general public in Korea perceived and envisioned the future direction of STEM education. To gather the data, we developed a questionnaire and conducted a survey on public awareness attitude toward STEM education. This research made written in Korea because we had four different states to select the data. We only present about the survey this time. Online survey was conducted, and we analyzed 1,531 valid responses collected for participants. When we asked about the need for change in the Korean school education system, respondents gave an average score of 8.94 out of 10, showing a strong perception that significant changes are needed. When we asked whether convergence education, which is STEM, is necessary, respondents gave an average score of 8.46 out of 10, showing a strong recognition of it's very important. The importance of subject-based education, including Korean, English, mathematics, and science, was rated at 5.96 out of 10, whereas convergence STEM education received higher score 7.52, indicating stronger support for integrated learning, not an individual subject. The emphasis on ICT and computing education scored 7.75, whereas career education was rated higher at 8.46. The importance of connecting correspondence learning with the out-of-school field experience received on average score 8.35 out of 10. And importance of experiential and inquiry-based learning received a score of 8.48, whereas discussion and presenting-based lessons are rated slightly higher at 8.56. The result shows that human network competence scored 9.24 and flexible cognitive competence scored 9.13, including that public views both as very important skill for the future. In like a subject area itself is much lower than this kind of humanity skills. Especially, the importance of innovation thinking was rated 9.00, where value and culture creation competence received a score 8.78. And the area of character education for the humanity, the importance of etiquette education was rated 9.42, and education in respect, care, and empathy scored 9.49. And the importance of justice education was rated 9.39, where environmental proportion and civic education received a score 9.22, showing that both are considered highly important area of character education. These results showing that character education scored above 3 out of 10 suggests that human-centered education is increased, recognized, essential in the era of artificial intelligence, even in STEM area. The future, we develop the future STEM education. Future education is more like convergent approach that foster learners' ability, flexibility, adapt complex, uncertain future society and to take on challenge that read sustainable development. Future-oriented convergence education enables students to respond rapid social changes, climate crisis, and issues of coexistence. The lifelong learner, they pursue not only personal growth, but also sustainable development of planet and the global community. Future education supports students in developing integration, problem-solving ability, and collaborate, innovate, and coexist-oriented relation among human, technology, and society. This diagram shows future education divided three different areas. Collaborative relationship between human and innovation relationship between human and technology, and harmonious coexistence between human and the environment. This is another figures. I will explain in English. There are three pillars and collaborative relation between humans. Building collaborative relation between humans involve learning, leading their own growing and integrating with others to understand and support, respect each other. Innovative relation between human and technology, and human use technology to solve a problem and establish new forms of relation aimed to rapid technology changes, contributing to advancement of technology. In other words, humans and technology form a mutually cooperative and complementary relation working together and foster technological advancement for new innovation. Harmonious coexistence between human and the environment. This means establishing and maintaining the harmonious relationship between the natural environment, society, and cultural environment, while continuously striving for and taking responsibility for sustainable development. And we divide three areas, and their three pillars has a confidence and confidences. First, collaborative relation between humans. There are two confidences, it's like self-leadership and human networking confidences. Innovation relationship between human and technology. There are two competencies, the data literacy and digital literacies. And three pillars, harmonious and coexistence between human and the environment. There are sustainability, competence, and people advocacies. Thank you very much for your attention. I learned too many hours, and our slide highlights the strong public recognition of the importance of convergence education in preparing students for real-world problem solving and the sustainable future. As we move into the age of artificial intelligence and uncertainty, education needs to go beyond the traditional subject and neutral learner who can connect knowledge, think creatively, and act respectively. Thank you once again. I look forward to your question and discussion after this complete this session. And thank you. And Jae-jun is here now. So now we are moving on second presenters, which will be delivered by Ellen Shea. The title, Fostering Innovation, Collaboration, and Social Responsibility Through STEAM Education, a case study of smart communication CAN project. Miss Ellen Shea received her bachelor degree and Master of Education in Educational Technology from South China Normal University in 2015 and 2019. And her research interests include STEM education, AI in education, and teacher training. Ms. Shea, if you're ready, please share your screen and begin your presentation.
Thank you, Chair. So currently I will share my screen. Okay,
Yes,
so hello
yes.
everyone. Could you see? Oh, okay, that's
Yes,
great.
yes.
With great honor, I would like to introduce our empirical research regarding STEM education. In this research, our target is about fostering innovation, collaboration, and social responsibility to students. Without further ado, I will introduce the basic content. The context is about secondary school computer class in general situation. The traditional computer class often suffers from rigid content, lack of motivation, and a single mode assessment. Based on this, maybe I will say dilemma. Based on this dilemma situation, I leverage your theory of interdisciplinary education, project-based learning, as well as 5E instructional model as my theoretical foundations. And on top of this, and also considering the trend of aging society, I just confirm the topics here is smart communication king for caring elders. This is the background information, and then let me introduce the design and implementation of the project. You may see there were some pictures. The pictures are students work and from the diverse appearance. It is also cool to reveal our students' creativity. The background is about secondary school in Macau, SAR of China, and the students are from Form 1, namely the grade 1 for the junior secondary school study. And the number of students is 153. Though I suppose the number is not a very huge population. However, I suppose it is quite enough to reveal some discoveries regarding the creativity, collaboration, or social responsibility we're going to research. The course actually spans 14 teaching periods and using the time of computer application in that school. So it is your computer and school-based curriculum, and discuss around the core question that's to be solved. How could we assist the elderly in an aging society? We prepare a lot of challenges and materials to students and encourage students to try to solve the problem themselves. And during this procedure, we identified the improvements of collaboration spirit, innovation, and a sense of social responsibility. Based on the requirements of basic academic attainments stipulated by Macau Education and Youth Development Bureau, namely the 3 pillars for conforming learning objectives by using knowledge, skills, emotion, attitudes, and values, we confirm the learning objectives like this. Per knowledge, now there was some information and a basic theoretical foundation regarding sensors, the utilization of sensors, wireless communications, and some electricity-related concepts. And for skills, actually we emphasize hands-on practice in STEM education since we would like provide some chances to students to learn by doing. And besides this, we also encourage students to experience scientific inquiry procedure and engineering procedure. And by combining these two, actually we identified students, or at least we aim to identify students' improvement of high order thinking skills. And last year, but not least, we also would like to highlight the importance of develop empathy. Based on the learning objectives, we design a 14 periods course based on 5E model. And the first stage is about engagement. We prepare a lot of materials, let's say some scientific reading materials, some videos, as well as your simulation challenge. Actually, it is a game to our students. Let them not only read watch but also experience the difficulties the elders are suffering. And based on this foundation, we just invite students to send greeting cards to elderly to help them develop caring feelings for elderly and learn gratitude. Also, we prepare them with some fundamental knowledge we mentioned before regarding electricity, coding, sensors, and some other related content. So on this basis, now students have confirmed their target regarding creating a cane, a walking stick with these smart features. Now, actually, the features are mainly focused about detecting falls, since we noticed that if elders cannot work stably and may have a chance to fall down, it may cause some life-threatening dangerous. So it is a principle, very important principle for us to take into account. Um, and with detection of falls, actually, we just prepare some cheers to send some audible alarms as well as some SOS signals to the receiving end for rescue. So these are about main functions. So how to achieve these main functions and how to just put all of this ideation into practice, into a real product. We, as I mentioned before, we just invite the student first of all to figure them out, and during the figure out procedure, student identify some unexpected situation. Since actually it is a process of learning by doing, so it is not regarding geo or regarding rote learning that may have a lot of emergencies. So unexpected phenomenon situation actually are quite common from my perspective. So one day a student just identified the ultrasonic sensor did not work. So based on this situation, I just inquire students to conduct some experiments to formulate a hypothesis. Is there about velocity? Is there about voltage? And then invite them to design and conduct some experiments to record data, analyze data, and draw a conclusion. So it turns out it's really about the voltage, not sufficient electricity. So based on this, students not only find out a way to acquire knowledge themselves, but also just have a deeper understanding regarding electricity, which can be applied for their future design for the walking stick. Okay, so based on the foundation I mentioned before, now it is time to elaborate. So elaborate what? Just based on the design requirement and based on their foundation they established to bring their ideation into practice to make a walking stick which just like a walkie-talkie can achieve communication targets, communication functionalities. So the procedure, actually I never encourage or never suggest our student to complete the procedure in one go. Actually, we need to break down the procedure into tiny steps and complete them systematically and gradually. So this is the engineering procedure from define the target users and then select materials and draw sketches and create the prototype based on the sketches, and finally test the prototype and put forward some refinements ideas. So based on this, we find students really did a good job. Though sometimes their product seems to have some not search on satisfactory aspects. Now, for example, the structure. Sorry, I forgot to change your annotation to English. So from the structure, we may find it is not balanced, so may pose some challenge for some elder users to keep balance when they are working or when they just use your sticks to support. So by analyzing this, and we find out assessment and evaluation is a quite important factor, since by solely testing them use a unified test or by solely test your products actually may not completely reveal students' capability. So we designed a multi-dimensional evaluation scheme, and based on the scheme, we just reveal some important discoveries. First of all, is regarding innovation. So how could we identify students' innovation just from the several dimensions? First of all, it's about functionalities. So I emphasize this communication for a lot of times. So the communication actually is put forward by our students rather than me, since they find out though the walking stick can help elderly walk and stand firmly and stably. However, when they fall on a unexpectedly, they cannot be discovered in a quick manner. So they just employ this wireless communication function to build the cane and build the receiver like walkie-talkie to improve the efficiency of rescue. So it is the first clue regarding innovation. And then the second clue is about structural design. So you may find there is a cane use triangle to support a more stable structure. So it is not only a creativity, but also an application that adopt their theoretical knowledge to learn in their daily life to practice. So I suppose actually it is an area that not only supports the literature, but also supports our just a chance sharing regarding the intention of conducting STEM education. So the last one for innovation capabilities is about recreational functions. So you may find these are some facilitations to help elderly to do some exercise rather than some decorations. So by using this, maybe ball throwing game or stretching games, the elders can not only work stably, but also can do some recovering exercise. So the above concludes the discovery regarding innovation capabilities. And regarding collaboration, actually, I use some statistic methods. Specifically, it's about average and standard deviation plotting to analyze the data. So this is the this is the graph, and then the graph actually have 4 quadrants, and our data which means the average achieves around 81 and the standard deviation achieves around 26, just fall within the area of false quadrant. So this is to be honest, this is an unstable area. However, it still reveals that students' performance achieves high average level, though there were some relatively dispersed with some low outliers. So I suppose this is quite important, since it not only reveals that our team collaboration in the STEM project is quite effective, but also to provide some suggestions regarding provide more structured scaffolding in the future. So the last discovery is about social responsibilities. All the designs or maybe all the hacks in the walking sticks at the demonstration, at the illustration of students' love and students' caring demonstrate for elders. So based on just in a nutshell, based on the evidence I demonstrated just now, and also based on the analysis, we confirm that STEM education with appropriate teacher guidance can efficiently improve not only the acquisition of knowledge, skills, but also higher order thinking skills for innovation, collaborative spirit, and social responsibility. And also, just as Chad mentioned, actually some educators may not have enough confidence in solving or implementing some STEM-related problems. So we then our research will be empirical examples, empirical research to provide some ideas for other researchers or for other STEM education practitioners for better implementation. So the above concludes my presentation as well as our research. Thank you so much. And this is my email address. So everyone, if you would like to have some further discussion with me, or if you would like to have some collaboration with me, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Ellen, for your thoughtful and inspiring presentation. It was wonderful to see how the STEM education in your area leads to real social innovation. And now let's move on to the third presentation, which will be delivered by Ms. Samita Saka, titled STEAM Pedagogy to Promote 21st Century Skill in High School English Classroom. Ms. Saka received her bachelor degree in education and master degree in education from Brock University, where she is currently enrolled in the joint PhD program in education studies. As a secondary science English, as a secondary school English teacher, her research focused on interdisciplinary learning, educational policy, and the use of technology and AI in the classroom. Ms. Sacker, if you are ready, please share your screen and begin your presentation.
Thank you so much.
Mm.
It's asking me to quit Zoom and re-enter
Oh,
to
sure.
enable the meeting.
Yeah, sure. Our last presenter is Mr. Jaejun Lee is join us at the Zoom. Yeah, would you introduce yourself, Mr. Jae?
About me?
Yes, because we introduced itself. Our session 7 is only presenters.
Just I'm studying computer education in doctoral degree now in KNUE, and then before that, I had worked in the Philippines as KOICA project for helping farmers, and before that, I studied geography education and environment science, and then I studied their environment education too.
So you you joined the Zoom if late. I feel like you are not coming today. So this why this why I used your time for my presentation. So yeah, that's why we are running over time a little bit. Okay. Ellen?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hello, chat.
Yes. I just want to know that are you teaching your STEAM classes? Yes. Samita is coming. Yes. Samita, are you ready?
Yes, I hope so. I was ready to start too.
Okay. I hope so too. Yeah, it works.
Is it working?
Yes. Thank you.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. Let me start. So I'm going to start by introducing myself and the topic, STEAM in the Ontario context in Canada specifically, and my research question and my unit plan, and then I'm going to show you my plan. So, introduction, my parents are actually both scientists. So, my mom has a PhD in organic chemistry, and my dad has a PhD in inorganic chemistry. So, opposites attracted. And I actually decided to pursue English. I got an English degree, and I was influenced by my parents. So, I combined my love of English and my new fascination with science, and I wrote a food science book with dessert recipes called Taste Tests a few years ago, where I created some different vegan desserts and I described the science behind the baking, and I really enjoyed doing that. And that inspired me to take my studies further because I was working as an English teacher and I was thinking, what if we taught the subjects in a more comprehensive, integrated way? And the reason I thought like that is because this is the way knowledge is used in the real world, but in high schools in Ontario, Canada specifically, the curriculum is very, very divided. So a student will have an English class, then they'll go to their science class, and they'll go to their math class. But they won't learn them all together. Even though STEAM is encouraged in the Ontario curriculum, the way that the system is set up, because in Canada, every province has their own educational ministry. So within the Ontario province where I live and work, the curriculum is very, very divided. And it's difficult for teachers to conduct interdisciplinary learning, even if they want to. So I decided I wanted to try something different. So I applied for the master's program at Brock to do some more research. So this was my abstract. Basically, my idea was to create a poetry unit where I would aim it at a grade 9 English class and follow those curriculum expectations, but I would also look at the curriculum for grade 9 science, grade 9 math, grade 9 engineering, grade 9 arts, and I would try to take curriculum expectations from those two and incorporate them into the lessons so that if any teacher were to take this unit plan, then they would be able to teach lessons where they're not only covering their own curriculum, but they're also covering curricular expectations that students would need in other classes as well. So I wanted to make that very easy for teachers because that's something that I wanted to do in my classroom but struggled with. So I thought it would be cool for teachers who are so busy to just have a document that they could just take and have lesson plans ready to go and run with it. And this is a public domain document, so I can give you all the link also in the chat later so that you can all take the unit plan and use whatever lessons you want. I think that's totally great if more teachers are doing this or if you want to share it with people you know who might teach high school students or just want ideas. So when I was doing my master's, right then, the Ontario curriculum changed a little bit, and they changed the grade 9 English course, and they wanted to focus it more on transferable skills, which are basically 21st century skills. So I have them highlighted here on the side, like critical thinking, innovation. And they want teachers to teach these skills in the classroom, but how? So the curriculum in Ontario is very, very vague because they value teacher autonomy and they want teachers to feel creative to come up with their own ideas in the classroom for how they meet the curriculum expectations. But it also puts a lot of pressure on teachers because we're busy, we work a lot, and we have to find creative ways to do these things. And some teachers want to do these things. It's our job to do these things, but we don't have the time. So my research questions were, how can English lessons be designed on a given STEAM-based topic to promote interdisciplinary connections with real-world applications and 21st century skill development? And what are recommended strategies that English teachers can implement to assess both content knowledge as well as 21st century skills developed through STEAM pedagogy? So I wanted to make sure that this unit plan I'm creating is useful and that when teachers conduct lessons from this plan, then they know that they're meeting curriculum expectations and that they're also able to assess students. It's not just a fun lesson to do in the class, but there are assignments that come along with the unit plan that teachers can give out, and I have the rubrics included as well, so that teachers know that they're also able to assess the students. So how I designed the plan was to make it a 1-month plan, and every week you're moving to a different topic. So first, introducing poetry, then enhancing poetry, reflecting on poetry, and experiencing poetry. So with each passing week, I focused on a different area of STEAM. First, I focused on science, technology, society, and environment connections, STSC. Then I moved into making connections with arts and engineering. So students are doing hands-on work and they're creating artwork, or they're going to maker spaces, and they're blending that knowledge of English, literature, poetry with something more hands-on, like arts and engineering. Then for the reflective week, there's a technology focus. And I also created this really cool lesson that students could do with their math classes. So like if an English teacher and science or math teacher wanted to run the lesson together, they could organize that. And they could do a virtual escape room where the students would use poetry to solve math equations to try to get out of the room. It's a really interesting activity. And then for the last one, experiencing poetry. So science and math focus and inquiry based. So this is how I planned it out, with Monday to Friday, lessons every day, different connections made to different parts of the curriculum with STEAM, and assessments as well. So teachers can take this and run with it and use what they want. So let me show you the plan. So I have it here. This is my actual master's paper, and I can give you the link later. And then I have my lit review, my introduction, and then I go into the actual plan itself. And I have some lessons. So let me just give you an example or two. So from week 1, introducing poetry, I start off with an overview and then a lesson called Introduction to Poetry that teachers could give grade 9 students just to wet their toes in poetry. And the first page has the curriculum expectations. So I went through the different curriculum documents for English, for science, and I took the specific expectations point by point. So I have that all mapped out for teachers, which is a very tedious thing for teachers to do. So I have that done for them. So of course it's an English class. It has a lot of English expectations, but also this is the grade 9 science curriculum. And this is the grade 9 curriculum for the Exploring Technology course. So you're also meeting some expectations there, as well as some 21st century skills, which the government of Ontario really wants teachers to focus on. You're teaching critical thinking, collaboration, communication. So teachers know what they're teaching. With this lesson, they don't need to do any guesswork of where this fits into the curriculum. And then the lesson breakdown, I have the learning goals. So what exactly students are going to learn. So they're going to learn about what poetry is and why it's significant. And then I have the teaching materials here that the teacher could use, and basically different poems. And these poems have an STSC focus. So they're science-themed English poems. And then I also have an exit card rubric. So if the teacher wants to assess the students at the end of the lesson, then they can just use this rubric. So first, the plan is that for 30 minutes or so, the teacher is going to introduce poetry, ask the class some questions. What is a poem in your own words? Show the class a few of the poems and ask them to discuss in groups. What do you notice? Can you determine which are about science, technology, the environment, and/or society? And do you think poetry is effective to convey these messages? And then the teacher can list over the literary devices the students are learning about, and then the students can answer some questions in an opinion paragraph or via an exit card, however the teacher wants to do it. Assessment opportunities, so different ways that the teacher could assess the students, different modifications that they could make. And then I have the rubric here that the teacher could use if they wanted to make this into an opinion paragraph assignment. And then here I have more lessons. So basically I just have a series of a month's worth of lesson plans, along with the curriculum expectations, everything that the teacher needs, and any rubrics or anything else the teacher would need to run with the lessons. Okay, so lessons learned from me. So what did I learn? Well, I had to go through the curriculum documents, and it was a tedious task for me, but I appreciated it because I created something that other teachers can use for their own collaborative opportunities. So next steps, other teachers could use this unit plan and they could repurpose it. They could create other unit plans for courses besides English. This is a English unit plan. Somebody could do one for math, science. Other teachers might create professional development material instead of unit plans. People might make plans like this for elementary level or higher ed. So there's a lot more research to be done because this is just grade 9 English, one unit, but this can be done across all of the grades, all of the subjects, and it needs to be more normalized basically because right now it's really difficult for teachers to do. I wanted to take one step to make things easier for teachers while also giving them something very useful that they could modify as they needed. And how I did my research was with literature review and document assessment. Other researchers or teachers might want to do their research and create their own documents or their own unit plans through interviews, or they could do research where you implement these types of unit plans and you get student feedback or you assess student outcomes. So there's so much more research to be done with STEAM as well. And thank you. That is my presentation.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Ms. Saka, for sharing your insightful research. Your work highlights how STEAM can transform traditional subject into opportunity, creativity, and critical thinking. And now let's move on the final presentation, which will be delivered by Mr. Jae-jun Lee, titled The Emergence of Convergence Education from the Overall Perspective of Knowledge Exploration and Academic Division. Mr. Lee, if you are ready, please share your screen and begin your presentation.
Hello, everybody. Can you show my PPT? Where? Okay, I will start my presentation. I am Jae-jun Lee, PhD student, KNUA, South Korea. I'm glad to present to you about this topic. The topic is the emergence of convergence education from the overall perspective of knowledge exploration and academic division. Convergence education emerges from the need to bridge academic divisions, foster a holistic understanding of knowledge and life. Before understanding convergence education, it is necessary to understand the process of differentiation. The eruption of academic began with attempts to understand life. Humanity started from Earth, not other planets, and still live on the Earth. In the earlier days, humanity was developed for a better environment and conditions for a sustainable life in the earth. And in the History Museum, the early humanity has developed a variety of environmental conditions in relation to clothes, food, housing, and base survival. Humanity has explored life in the process of purchasing a better life and could accumulate knowledge and wisdom. At first, it began with a small knowledge, so it was possible to interfere with the current divided academic system. But due to the accumulation of many years and the accumulation of massive knowledge, the discipline of the knowledge of life was naturally different, but in the present generation, it was a great situation. At the same time, the room to look about and be interested gradually disappeared. For example, Scholar Humboldt, Scholar Kant, Scholar Rousseau were able to try research in various fields in their interest, not just one field. But it is not easy to take various fields as before. While humanity is focusing on accumulation of knowledge, humanity is overlooked in the case of ants, such as ants communicate with hormones. But in the case of human being, we talk with social animals, with five senses: visible, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. And in order to collaborate with each other, elements such as communication, empathy, consideration, and humanity are needed. In recent years, complex social issues have been urgently needed to solve problems through collaboration among people. And today, people who have learned a segregated academic system that have grasped our knowledge of our life on earth and needs a new education paradigm that will fill the lack of elements needed in the process of communicating in order for the social animals of human to live together. This is why convergence education has emerged. And in convergence education, I think that in the previous segmented academic system, one person is emphasizing factors such as communication, empathy, consideration, and humanity necessary as social animals. Most of human communication is reading, listening, writing, speaking through the passes of eyes, ears, writing, mouth, which seems to be based on understanding. However, it can be seems that hug and handshake are communicating with other elements. For example, in the case of art, I think it can be expressed using all the elements of visible, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. And I think it can communicate using all five senses in other studies. As a result, the department gathered the characteristics according to specific standard for subject can be a horizontal axis, and I thought that all of the tangible and intangible things on the planet could be vertically axis. Furthermore, if I express the current situation where knowledge has been divided into academics, it is likely to be expressed in 3D. X-axis is topic, y-axis is study, and z-axis is depth of contents. The current stage of convergence education is the early stage of breaking the fixed framework of academic division and system that was absolutely divided by the current generation of people who run the segmented academic division and system based on the development of scientific talents. MST education is thought to have reached the current convergence education after STEM education, STEAM education, and integrated education. It is important to learn convergence education as its own body, but I think that convergence education itself should not be another segmented academic system. I think that convergence education is an attempt to get out of the fixed perspective that we have seen in the life of human Earth in each existing academic division and system. It should not be overlooked that there was a process of exploring the Earth we are living and even the object of the universe. I think it is necessary to know that studying is an attempt to understanding the Earth we are living and all of the universe we belong to. When we talk about the importance of collaboration, we think that we should also be a social animal that realize that it is directly or indirectly connected to each other and cannot be alone. It is sometimes necessary to look at the microscopic aspects of everything, but I think it is also necessary to think about the system, the differentiation process, and the necessity of convergence education in the macroscopic aspect mentioned above. Thank you so much.
마이크가
I'm sorry. I'm now I have a mic on. Thank you, Mr. Lee, for your presentation. Thank you to all your 4 presenters for sharing such meaningful research today. And I'm very sorry we are short on time. And do you have any questions to each presenter? Then please contact the presenter by email. Is it okay? Yes, and thank you once again for your active, your participant for the contributing your inspiring research again. And we are close this session now, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.